What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Austin Show. Today we're looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends controller Build-A-Figure wave. And starting out this wave, we have Iron Man in the Iron Man armor model 70. So it looks very classic inspired, newer suit, but very classic inspired. So that looks cool. And then we go to the figures that have the actual Build-A-Figure pieces. So the Iron Man doesn't include any, but we can start to see the controller pieces there. So first off, we have Thor, the Herald of Galactus version of Thor, which looks really cool, and Blue Marvel, followed by Madam Hydra and Speedball, ending off with Quake and US Agent. So we have a lot of cool figures here, a lot of figures we've not seen or looked at before. Of course, all comic inspired characters, so no movie or anything related. So a lot of cool characters in this wave that I'm excited to look at. And of course, that Build-A-Figure of controller there, we can see him there at the back, what he's going to look like. Almost looks like a different version of Thanos or whatever, but I think he looks pretty cool. So I'm excited to open these figures and check them out. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off this wave with Iron Man, which is the Iron Man armor model 70, which looks pretty cool here. I like this design generally. Overall has that classic Iron Man look of the red and gold yellow, so looks pretty good there. But this suit was a stripped down vintage style Iron Man suit that Tony took with him when he stepped down from Stark Unlimited. So it's supposed to be, like a throwback to his original suit, because he's like, I'm no longer in power and stuff here, so I just want a suit to protect me if I need it. So this suit has enhanced strength and durability, has the ability to fly, of course, repulsor blast, unibeam, and operated by a low-level AI named Boss. So I think overall it looks cool. Like I said, this is not some Iron Man design. We get plenty of Iron Man, so there's nothing, really new about this, but it just has a different look to it. I like of course, like the blast, like the reactor stuff, has the little glow piece, on his chest, the pieces on the hips as well as on the arms, I think is cool, and down on the legs. So I like that additional detail thrown in there. Like I said, that classic look of Iron Man with the red and like gold color. The gold's a little bit too dark. I don't like that too much, but it's there on his faceplate, so I like the black eyes and mouth and stuff there. That looks cool. But then the gold on his arms, of course, red underneath there with all like that rib design. It's the gold going down the legs as well. And then you can see just the all red rib design that we've seen with multiple Iron Man armors before. So I do like the look of this design. So for movements, we can get the head that can twist all the way around, and the neck can look down that far and up that far. So with this neck, it's a little bit stiff, so there are some issues, but we do have additional joint things. So we have the neck joint as usual that can move back and forth. I'm trying to get it to move, but then there's also a neck joint right at the lower neck, so it allows it to move back and forth, so it gives you additional movements in there. And I assume, it feels like the bottom one can twist around as well. Obviously the upper one can. So yeah, it gives you nice additional movements there in the neck. But then we can go over to the shoulders, and I'm not sure how, okay, the armor is a little bit softer, so it does allow the arms to come up closer to 90, not fully, but not far off, so at least have that movement, and can rotate all the way around. We then have the bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend that far up, so not bad, but not the best. Wrist can twist around and flex back and forth for these hands. And then we got the ab crunch, so you can see the ab crunch there, so crunch forward, crunch back, so pretty decent crunching, can twist all the way around there as well. And then we go down to the hips that can come up to 90, out to the side, that far thigh twist that can twist around in there. Don't think it can go all the way around, but a double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, which isn't bad, not far from kicking his butt. A shin twist at the top of the boot section there, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. And I do like the feet design where they're like the squared off design. I think that's pretty cool. So I do really like this armor. I think that functions pretty good, a little stiffness there in the neck, but I think overall the joints fit pretty good. I just wish the gold color was a little bit more yellow, so like not as dark and everything. And I think this would be a really cool Iron Man and probably one of my favorites. But to show you more, we have these other two Iron Mans. I just tried to pick some random Iron Mans, since it's supposed to be based off his older style. I picked ones that I feel are older. So we have the 20th anniversary, and then I can't remember what this version of Iron Man is, but it has more of that darker gold that I don't like as much because compared to the brighter yellow here, but I don't like this version as much as this one. So to me, it's like they could just like combine the two. It'd be more like this one, but I just wanted to show those there to show the different sort of old style versions of Iron Man compared to this new one that's based off the old versions. But we get some accessories with this Iron Man. So first we get a set of hands. So if you don't want to have the repulsor hands on, you can have just standard fist if you want them. So nice rib design there on the fist. And then of course with the repulsor hands, we do get some repulsors. So we have our standard yellow ones we can put in his hand. So there's the repulsor sticking in his hand there. And what's cool with these hands, since they do have the flexibility as well, you can sort of adjust them a little bit more. So not many of those have them. They're usually just kind of in place and you have to deal with it. But this one actually has some movement, so that's pretty cool. So we get those repulsors, and then we also have some of the smoke effects that go around them. So we've been getting these with figures lately. So let's try and put the repulsors through here and put these on his hands. So there's those smoke effects added onto the hands, and I think that looks pretty cool. The clear smoke coming out. And I did worry about when putting these in that they would start like weighing the hands in, or the arms in general, or just the hands, the hands start falling down, which is kind of the case. this. I'm able to get him like stuck there in that position, but this arm's a little bit stiff, but I know this arm kind of was like drooping down a little bit. So that's the only issue, but that happens with the other Iron Man. So it just adds too much weight, but I think it looks cool. It adds, you know, a nice effect, some additional design and stuff there, but it wouldn't be something I'd probably ever really use it just, you know, for instances like this. But I think it's cool that they come with that extra little effect that I think looks pretty decent, you know, pretty close to the Iron Man effect. So overall, a pretty good figure, comes with nice effects and stuff. The only thing we're really missing is an unmasked head, but I think overall this is a pretty good Iron Man figure. And next up we have Thor in his Herald of Galactus design. So at this point in the storyline, Thor has become the leader of Asgard, and so his father has passed away, and Thor is now the leader of Asgard with the All-Father powers, so he's more powerful than he was before. But in this storyline, we see after being warned of the coming threat of Black Winter by Galactus, Thor ends up becoming one of his heralds, and it is imbued with the power cosmic to help Galactus find 5 planets for him to devour to be able to gain enough strength to be able to defeat Black Winter. But during the process, Thor learns that Galactus lied about Black Winter and that Galactus is actually technically a herald of Black Winter, so he's trying to get out of his duties. And Thor ends up draining Galactus of his power cosmic, leaving him as a husk, and then uses his husk body as a bomb to destroy Black Winter. So pretty cool design here. And so as I mentioned, he has the power cosmic, which was a cosmic energy power that was wielded by Galactus to produce nearly any desired effect, and that mixed with his All-Father powers and made him one of the most powerful heralds Galactus ever had. So I think this looks pretty cool. This is an awesome design. Of course, when I first saw this design, it was for the Fortnite video game, so of course I was like, oh, it's just the Fortnite version, but then reading it was actually from the comics, you know, the Herald version of him. I think that's pretty cool. So it has the awesome design. I just don't like this figure overall. I kind of point that stuff out, but it's cool with the long blonde hair. It looks real nice, you know, always for Thor. Has the like crown piece on his head and the all white eyes. Has the mostly black outfit, or at least black covering outfit, which has some nice textures and stuff. You can see on the black there that it has nice like texture design to it. But then he's got some armor pads, so up on his shoulders some armor with some black details and like leather designs. Has his like chainmail armor design we've had with old Thors and stuff, so we have that on his arms, so we have the all silver there, as well as on his legs. He has a cape hanging down the back, so a nice red cape with a white line there on this outside, but underneath it's got some purple into it and some textures. I don't know if I can really show it to you, but there's some like texture in there as well, so that looks nice. Again, some more armor, so black armor there, the cloth piece hanging down. Whatever this design is, it kind of looks like a runic symbol type thing, and it has the 3 dots like Thor normally has the dots on him, but he has 3 of them here. A red belt, looks like a little like holster piece here, so maybe put Mjolnir hanging there, which is cool. And then again, that silver going down his legs, where he's got some like armored up boots and stuff, so some knee pads, and then some red designs there on the boots. But the boots there are that design, which I don't like at all, and it's giving a lot of issues with him standing, so he keeps just wanting to fall back because of the cape, but I can't get him to lean forward because the boots have this piece on the front, and so they're bent as far forward as they'll go, so it can't really get him into a position that he doesn't want to keep falling backwards on. But overall, I like the look. Like I said, just the issues getting him to stand is really annoying. But we can do his movements, so his head, I bet we'll get barely any movements. Can twist a little side to side, look down that far, look up that far, yeah, so barely any movements in the head because of all his hair. But then we get the shoulders that can come up close to 90. I can kind of get up to 90, have the shoulder that gets out of the way there, but comes up to 90 and can rotate around. We get a bicep twist in there, the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with the rotation in it, and the wrist can twist around and flex up and down for this hand. We've got the ab crunch, so we have the separation right in there, so you crunch forward, crunch back, so very little crunching, but can twist around there pretty easily. And then we get the hips that can come up to 90. I thought there'd be issue with all the skirting, but it gets out of the way pretty easily, so up there and out to the side. A thigh twist that twists all the way around, double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, not bad. And then we get the foot that flexes back and forth. Like I said, that is really annoying and has some stiffness in it as well, but can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So I thought there'd be a lot less movements with the size of his body. Obviously his head's the issue just because of his hair, and then like I said, those feet just because it's not allowing him to stand up very well, so I just have to kind of get his feet placed wide so he's more falling forward to counterbalance that cape. But just there like that, I think it looks really cool. And of course we get a number of accessories. So first we get additional hands, so he has 2 grip hands already, so we get a set of fists if you want those. We get of course his signature weapon of Mjolnir, so we have this all blue effect version of Mjolnir, which looks pretty cool. Like I said, we have the little piece here that we can slide it down into, so of course I don't think it'll fit very well in between all this section and stuff, but yeah, it can kind of fit right in there, so it doesn't work out too well, but we can put it into his hand. So there's the Mjolnir in the hand, and with that we also get a lightning effect, so we just have this blue lightning we can probably just take and wrap around Mjolnir. So probably just like that, you know, just kind of stick it on there, so it's got the lightning coming off of it, which looks cool. And finally, Thor comes with his dad's old ravens of Hugin and Moonin, I think, or how you say it, or Munin, I don't know exactly how you say, but we get these 2 different ravens. So we have one with the wings wide open, and then one just sitting there, and I think in the picture it shows it up on his shoulder. I don't know how you'd be able to get it to stand or anything. Yeah, I don't think that's a thing, but we do have those. They sit on the ground. Of course, their feet are all kind of messed up and crooked and stuff, so they don't really sit too well, but we can just sit them on the ground like at his feet, so you can just see them sitting down there. So pretty cool overall that he comes with all those different accessories. And then with this being the Herald of Galactus version of Thor, we don't really have any other Thors that really look like this or anything. Maybe the Ultimates version would be the closest, but don't really have anything else for him. But I think he looks pretty cool. Like I said, it's an awesome design. I didn't like it as much at first because I thought, like I said, it was from Fortnite, but knowing in its actual comic and reading the story and stuff, I think it sounds pretty cool. So I actually really like the look. Just wish the feet were better so he wouldn't have issues standing. And next up, we've got Blue Marvel, real name Adam Brashear, and he was a child prodigy and got a PhD in electrical engineering and theoretical physics, became a U.S. Marine veteran of the Korean War, and began to work to harness antimatter through a negative reactor that created a bridge between the negative zone, but an unexpected explosion, as usual for superheroes, subjected him to mutagenic radiation that made him become a stable antimatter reactor himself with superhuman abilities that include superhuman strength, near invulnerability, flight, antimatter manipulation that allows him to create concussive force bolts, stun bolts, energy pulses, and force fields. So that sounds pretty cool. And overall, he looks cool here. I like the design of this a lot. So it's African American, obviously, so we can see that face design there. The only thing is it looks like the head's way too big for the body. It just looks like way too big, oversized for that. But I think overall looks good. You know, nice, decent looking face. But then we have the body. So he's got this mostly bluish color. So he's got like a little bit lighter blue color in the center, darker blue on the arms, and like black details, or it could be black. It's just really dark colors. Maybe it's dark blue and then black within the white sections, but I like, you know, kind of makes that M design on him, so it could be for the Blue Marvel design. Has like a jean jacket design almost with some diamond designs on it, but you see that, and nice stitching design work and stuff. Belt around the waist with an M design, some white glove design, and blue pants going all the way down to the boots. And again, much like the Thor, we have a lot of issues, and it kind of centers around the boots here. Like something keeps messing up, like when it stands, his feet get turned, you can see there's a weird gap in there and stuff. I think we're going to try to look for a new one because of the issues we're having with this one, but overall I think his look looks nice, just the figure has some issues. But we'll do his movements so his head can twist around. It looks like, yeah, it feels a little stiff and hard to twist around there with that collar on the jacket, but then twist all the way around and then look down that far and up that far, so not bad overall. The shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, which isn't bad. Wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. We get an ab crunch in the middle there, so crunch forward, crunch back, pretty decent crunching, twist all the way around at the waist. Hips come up to 90, out to the side that far, thigh twist all the way around, a double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, so not the best bend there. A shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. So not horrible. It doesn't have the best movements like in the knees and stuff, but everything else was pretty decent, so can't complain too much there. Now for accessories, we get some additional hands, so he has 2 fists already, so we get a set of hands that almost have like trigger fingers and stuff, or just like more open style hands. I don't really know what you would need these for, I guess just to have them, but I think that go along with his effects for his powers and stuff, the fist hands would be good. So we get these effects as well, so these bluish, they're kind of purplish, but mostly blue, have like these flame effects we can put onto his hands, and with his antimatter powers and stuff, this looks pretty cool, part of his powers, so let's put these on his hands. So there's Blue Marvel with his power effects on there, so I think that looks pretty cool. Obviously it's not like the greatest figure ever. I wish they would have like brightened up some more colors, and I wish the figure was a little bit better. Like I said, we're having issues with and stuff, but I think he looks pretty cool. It's a nice figure. Of course, another character to go along with the Ultimates, so I think we've almost completed the Ultimates. We just need a comic version of America Chavez and we'll have the Ultimates completed, so that's pretty cool. So nice to just have this figure overall finally, so you can't complain too much about that. And then we've got Madam Hydra, also known as Viper, but her real name is Ophelia Sarkissian, and she was recruited into the terrorist organization known as Hydra at a young age, where she overcame all potential agents to become Viper in the Hydra's inner circle. And she doesn't really have any like superpowers, but she's a brilliant criminal strategist and highly skilled manager of criminal organizations. She's a master of stealth and espionage, and a skilled markswoman, and extremely knowledgeable in the use of poisons, toxins, and snake venom. So she looks pretty cool, just in the green design, of course, looks like the Madam Hydra or Viper as I know, just with all green. So she has the all green spandex, so going up from her neck, like all the way up to her neck, all the way down to her legs. I like the different greens, so the dark green and the light green, they look nice. The light green looks really cool, so we have the light green boots, and then the belt around the waist with the holsters, and even the Hydra logos on them there. The dark green sleeves going up her arms, and then the dark green hair and lipstick and stuff around her eyes. So a lot of green going on here, but I think she looks pretty cool. So we can do her movements, so her head can twist around. It's going to be hard with this hair, it's going to be a lot of issues, but you can kind of get the force all the way around there. And then for movements down, you can like look down that far and up maybe that far. Her neck is really stiff, and so it's hard to get the move in general, but with that hair in there, it's just a lot of issues going all the way around. But then the shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. There's a single elbow joint that can bend to 90 with the rotation, and then the wrist can twist around and flex up and down for this hand. We've got the ab crunch under her chest, so crunch forward, crunch back, so pretty decent crunching, and of course can twist all the way around there and some like swivel all the way around. Then we get the hips that come up to 90, out to the side that far, thigh twist all the way around, a double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, so not bad, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. So it's kind of like that older classic female body, you know, not the greatest, has the single elbow joints, and then the legs are real thin, so like having this in our storage, the legs are going to easily bend, and she's going to be almost possible to stand up. So if you ever see her again, it'll be hard for me to get her to stand, but I think she looks good. Definitely a much needed upgrade. We do have an older figure. This was one that I think my brother kind of custom bashed together with a Polaris body and then additional accessories from another figure because we hated the old Toy Biz one, so took I think pieces from that and made this version. So definitely this figure is much better than this older one, so I love the design of this. For accessories, she comes with some additional hands, so we get a set of fist hands, so she has two like trigger finger hands on already, so we get two fists, and with those trigger finger hands we get two sets of guns. So we have these guns here with the nice like snake skin design on the handles, so of these we can stick into the holsters, but let's go and just put them into our hands. So there I got the guns in Madam Hydra's hand. I think that looks really cool. Like I said, I do really like this figure. It's a much needed upgrade. I just wish the figure could be a little bit better, like with the double elbow joints and then more movement with the hair and stuff, but I think overall she looks cool. The green looks really awesome, the different shades, and then coming with the two guns and stuff. So overall I do really like this figure, and I think she looks awesome, and like I said, a figure we needed. And next up, we've got Speedball, real name Robbie Baldwin, and while interning at Hammond Labs, he snuck in to watch an experiment that tapped into extra-dimensional energy source, but when the energy source got out of control, it gave him superpowers, and with those powers, if he gets hit, a protective kinetic energy field would manifest in the form of a muscular body, a costume, and floating bubbles around him, known as his Speedball mode, and with this, any impact that he takes causes him to bounce. He can also harness the energy to use as a force, use it as a shield, to catch people, or to stop moving objects like bullets. So that sounds pretty cool, but unfortunately like this figure doesn't come with any like effects or any like stuff like that. It's just this figure, so that kind of stinks. It'd be cool to show some of his powers, but I think it looks awesome. He's got a really nice hair design. As I say, usually Marvel has some really good hair designs, and this is another one. So really cool with the thick hair just all up top floating, much like a Gambit hair design, and then the all face covering, again very similar to Gambit, but it has the designs with all like circle and ball design stuff, like I said, that kind of manifests around him. Then he's got the goggles on, which I think cool. The goggles don't look horrible. You can see his eyes in there, so everything there just looks good with that face design. And then we get his outfit, so it gets the spandex outfit. Like I said, when his powers manifest, he gets the outfit, so that sounds pretty cool. So he's got the design there up around his neck, on his belt, on his gloves, and down on the boots, again with all that ball designs or whatever there, with blue everywhere else, so it's just this lighter blue sort of grayish tint sort of color to it. So I think overall looks cool. Like I said, it would have been awesome to get some nice effects or something to show some of his powers, so all we have is this and nothing really to go along with it, but I think he looks really cool overall. But let's do the movement, so his head can twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up that far, so really good, nice smooth movements there. Shoulders can come up to 90 and have the butterfly joint, so really good there, and twist all the way around. Of course, we get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that bends up that far, so not too bad, but not the best. Wrist twist all the way around and flex back and forth. Ab crunch in the middle, so crunch forward, crunch back, so decent crunching, twist all the way around at the waist. Hips can come up to 90, out to the side that far, thigh twist all the way around, double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, not bad, a shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So overall, he's got pretty decent movements, nothing really standing out or anything, and no major issues, and stuff isn't too stiff, just don't have best range in like the elbows, but don't really necessarily need that. But overall, I think he looks pretty good. Like I said, I wish we got some accessories for him. We just get this and nothing else, but I think overall he looks good and an interesting character to add to the collection. And next up, we've got Quake, which is a figure that kind of has multi-purposes. So it's labeled as Quake and comes with this Quake design as we have it here, but it also comes with accessories to make it a Maria Hill. So I think that's pretty cool that with one character you can get two things. So of course we have bought two, so I will show you the Maria Hill version in a second, but we're just going to base it off the Quake design. But Quake's real name is Daisy Johnson, and she's the daughter of Calvin Zabo, also known as Mr. Hyde, which of course is a figure we did, and an Inhuman woman. And as a teen, she ended up stealing two CDs, and during this time her powers awakened, and she kind of set off a minor earthquake, and she was taken in by S.H.I.E.L.D. and interrogated, where Nick Fury ended up offering her a position where she could train her powers. So for power, since her mom was an Inhuman, she has Inhuman metabolisms, which gives her enhanced strength, speed, and reflexes, and then her actual powers are vibration manipulation, which create powerful vibration waves that resemble earthquakes, so that's where she gets the name Quake. And so overall, this is pretty cool. It's Quake in her S.H.I.E.L.D. agent outfit, so she has the S.H.I.E.L.D. outfit, so the all dark blue like spandex outfit with the white designs on it, so we have the white straps up on the shoulders, the white belt, and the white straps on the thighs, and the white boots, and then like I said, it's Quake, so she has these like gauntlet pieces she wears on her hands. I don't know if they're helped to like control the powerfulness stuff. I didn't see anything really about them, but I know she has them. We have the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo up there on her shoulder as well, and then the face there of Daisy Johnson I think looks pretty decent, just a girl with shorter hair design, but I think overall it looks pretty decent. So nice to have Quake here, and again with this body design, this stuff sort of comes off, so we can easily just have it as a female S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. So if you want to just take this body and buy a bunch of them and pop random female heads on it, you can have all sorts of female S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, which is cool, but overall I think she looks pretty good here. And for movements, we get the head that can twist all the way around, look down that far and up that far, so pretty good movements. Shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so almost all the way up on itself, which is good. For the hands, I don't know if, yeah, we can get some twisting around in there and flexing back and forth. Wasn't sure how much we'd get with the wrist piece. But then we have the ab crunch under her chest, so crunch forward, crunch back, mostly back crunching, but a little forward, and can twist all the way around. The hips can come up to 90, out to the side there, thigh twist all the way around, double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, so not bad. And then the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So good female body movement. This has the newer one, so we got the bicep twist, the double elbow joints and stuff, so works pretty good. Still have the thinner leg design, so like I said, they'll probably be messed up in our storage box, but overall she stands real easily. Like compared to Madam Hydra, I had some issues still with her, but she stands pretty easily, and having those additional joints is pretty cool. But as I mentioned, we do also get accessories to turn it into Maria Hill, so we did buy another one, so we did turn it into the Maria Hill. So it comes with the head, you can take the arm pieces off and switch the hands out, and she does come with a gun as well, so I'll show you those accessories. So we get the additional head there, so there it is for Maria Hill, so just has a shorter hair design once again, and then the ear and mic piece there going around, so that's pretty cool. We get the additional hands, so we have the trigger finger hands, so that's what we have on the Maria there to hold the gun, so we got a set of trigger finger hands as well as a set of open like splayed out finger hands, so we get those options, and then of course that gun as well. So all that accessories come with Quake, and you can, like I said, either make it Quake and put the like glove pieces on her hands, or switch it all out to Maria Hill. And with that Maria Hill, we'll bring in our old one again, another like one we thrown together. It was the Maria Hill from the MCU, and then just took the old like comic version head and popped it on there just to try and make a comic Maria Hill. But now that we have this one, we can get rid of that old one. Just want to show that off as well. And overall, I think this is pretty cool that we get two figures in one. Like I said, you have to obviously buy two to get them, but if you want just Maria Hill, you can just buy the Quake and turn it into Maria Hill, or like I said, buy two and get two characters, or like I said, buy a bunch of them and just pop random heads on and make them S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. So either way, I think it's pretty cool. The body is real nice, has that newer female design and stuff, so I think it works out pretty well. And our final mainline character is U.S. Agent, also known as John Walker, and he was a U.S. Army veteran that wanted to be more of a hero like his brother, so he went through the power broker process to get enhanced strength. And at one point when Steve Rogers abandoned the identity of Captain America, John Walker took up the role, but his actions brought a confrontation with Steve, and Walker was deemed unworthy of the Captain America title, so his death was faked and he re-emerged as U.S. Agent, wearing a variation of the costume he wore as Captain America, and using a vibranium disc for a shield. So he looks pretty cool here. You know, looks just like US Agent, looks like the old figure we've had, just a new upgraded version that I think looks really cool. So he's got the pretty much Captain America outfit just modified. So he's got the all black outfit, so looks really cool with the all black. Still has the Captain America like face mask design, so covering most of his face. He's got the big nose and stuff there, and the older looking man face mask. Nice wing designs up on his forehead. Of course, no A or anything. And then his chest is painted with the red and white stripes, and then the black star there has a white star painted on his back. The gloves like Captain America wears, all red belt with the silver buckle, black pants going all the way down to the red boots again, just like Captain America wears. So really cool design here. I love this a lot. I always like US Agent as well, so looks pretty cool here, and have really no issues with this figure. But we can do his movements, so his head can twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up that far, so good movements there. The shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, a little bit stiff, but it is there. The double elbow joint that can bend up that far. And Again, not the best, but the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. The ab crunch in the middle, so crunch forward, crunch back, so decent crunching. Twist all the way around at the waist. Hips can come up to 90, out to the side that far. Thigh twist around. Double knee joint bends up that far, so again, not the best. A shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. So yeah, no major issues with this, just doesn't have the best movements ever, so could be a little bit better, have some more range in parts, but it's not horrible by any means. And for accessories, we get some additional hands, so we get a like grip hand and an open hand for like throwing the shield, so we get those along with the fist. And speaking of the shield, we get his shield as well, which I don't really like the design of this, and it's the old shield design, so it has the little clip-in peg piece. So with that like grip hand, we can pop that into the peg if we want, or we can just put the clamp around his hand. Just have issue with these a lot of times, especially as they get older, they'll break and stuff, but let's try and clip this on his arm. So there is the shield on that. So there we have US Agent with his version of the shield. And speaking of, we can bring in the old US Agent. So again, that older figure, of course, on the older body design. So we see with this new body, he's much bigger, so it looks pretty cool that way and how he should be bigger. But I do like the shield on this old one. So probably for us, if we decide to get rid of this figure, since we have the new one, we'll take this old shield so to replace it, because I don't like it having that light blue color design in there. I'd like if it would have matched the black color of the rest of the outfit, I think. But just want to show we do have that old figure as well, and that this one looks much better. So this US Agent looks pretty cool. Like I said, just don't like the shield too much for this one. And that gives us our Build-A-Figure of the controller, whose real name is Basil Sandhurst, and he was plagued with sickness and bedridden as a young child, and Basil grew up to become a scientist with theories about harnessing the power of the human mind. But eventually his brother got him a job at Cord Industries, where he was accidentally pushed into experimental chemicals, and he came out all scarred and crippled. So he used equipment around to make an exoskeleton for movement and was determined to control the world. And he used a mental wave absorbatron that could tap into the mental energy of victims and beam them into his exoskeleton. So that's why he's the controller. He wants to control people. So he built this exoskeleton suit. So the suit we see here, and we see his face. So as he's, scarred and crippled and everything, that's what he looks like there. It does look a lot like Thanos just in general. The body is of Thanos, so we'll see that. But just with the face design also does look like Thanos, but looks pretty cool. And then, like I said, his whole suit and stuff is an exoskeleton to keep him moving. And he likes to control the mind of others. So he has the ability to mentally control others and reads minds, uses slave discs, so that's what these things are in his hands, and places the victims on him, and it feeds their mental energy directly to his exoskeleton, so it kind of like feeds the power and gives him more power and control. It seems to be a bit of a confusing character. Like, I don't seem to understand how exactly everything works for him, but I think the figure looks cool. It's pretty simple. Like I said, it just looks like a repainted version of Thanos, just with a different head, but overall I think he looks pretty cool. We can do his movements though. His head can twist all the way around. It can look down that far and up that far, so not the best movements, but not horrible. The shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate around within there. We get the bicep twist, the single elbow joint that can bend to 90 there and has rotation in it, with the wrist that can twist around and flex back and forth. We get the ab crunch in the middle, so you can crunch forward and crunch back. A lot of popping in there, so nice crunching. Twist all the way around at the waist. Hips can come up under 90 out to the side there. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, so not bad, but not expected for a big figure. And then the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So not bad for a Build-A-Figure. Of course, he's bigger and has the big joints, so he's not going to have the best range of movements. So he's pretty standard in that way, but I think he looks cool. I like the blue, so the light blue colors with the light blue shading on it, and then the darker blue metallic outfit, like armor design stuff everywhere else. I think that looks cool. But as I said, it is just a like repaint or redone version of Thanos, and so like we found this Thanos that's pretty close to it. So he's got the same sort of shoulder armor piece, same underwear design. Of course, this one's just hidden, and then the boots are a little bit different, but overall very similar in design there. And so pretty much the exact same body, like I said, just taken and repainted for the controller here. And then he does also come with an additional set of hands, so we get a set of fist hands as well in that nice metallic blue. So if you don't want to have the hand holding the slave disc and then the other open hand, but I think he looks pretty cool. Not like a necessary character. I've never really heard or seen of him before, but I think it looks pretty cool, and a nice another big figure villain to add to the shelf. So there's our Marvel Legends controller Build-A-Figure wave, where we got a lot of cool comic-based characters, where we got Iron Man in the Model 70 armor, the Herald of Galactus, Thor, US Agent, Madam Hydra, Quake, Blue Marvel, and Speedball, and of course that Build-A-Figure of controller back there. So all of these figures are pretty cool, nice, all comic-based characters, a lot of characters that we needed or needed to upgrade and stuff. So a lot of good characters in this wave, I'd have to say overall. But let me know what you thought of these figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. I want to thank y'all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.